Hey, so many of you responded, and thanks for your encouragement about last week as I shared about what had gone on in Evita with Bia and that student, the Hellfire and Brimstone student who kind of took over the Bible study. I wanted to give you an update on that, and as well as I had to ask you for a prayer request. Bear with me as I explain all this, because it's been a confusing few days. But so I went down to Evita last Tuesday, and Bea and I had a great plan as we met, and we were going to meet with this student. She was going to get there early, and we were going to grab this student and just she was going to take the lead on sharing with the student, and I was going to be there for backup. And then things went awry. She arrived a little late. The student arrived early. 5 new students showed up early, and another 3 joined them. So suddenly we had a whole bunch of us. And by the time Bea got there was just no way to grab this student and share with them. So the other plan was for me to talk with all the students about what our values are as an organization and how we operate and things like that. So as I was getting all the students into the main room where we were going to talk, Bea, I didn't realize it, but Bea grabbed this student, and she did just a great job, the Hellfire and Brimstone student, of kind of sharing with him what went on last week, why it was inappropriate, what the effects were. He responded really, really well, and it was a good evening. We had actually 2 non-Christians show up, as well as several new or younger Christians, so it was a good time, and things in Evita were going really well. And we had, and Bea and I had also, she's an excellent leader, and we had outlined this whole plan for the next 4 weeks of what we were going to do to really try to cultivate new leadership in the group. She's a strong leader. We need 2 more leaders to join her to really stabilize the group. We had a great plan. And this afternoon, Bea calls me, and her roommate has tested positive for COVID. And so Bea is now in isolation, and she's got to spend the next 2 weeks in isolation and getting COVID tests and things like that. So here's what I'd ask for your prayer. Bea is actually a diabetic, so she's actually in the at-risk group. So I'd ask for your prayer for her health, and that she gets through this, but she does not get COVID, and she passes through this with no problem. And then you can pray for, as we end up having to cancel the group tonight, you've probably heard in the news, Europe is flaring up with COVID. And so the pastor said, hey, he wasn't comfortable having us there tonight. So we were out of a place to have the group, and we can't meet in groups of more than 5 outside of a church. And we don't have a church right now to meet in or any other space to meet in. So we'll go back next week. This kind of accelerates Bea and I's timeline of developing these 2 other people, this student Joao and this other student Leticia, that we've picked out and tabbed kind of, and we're trying to cultivate and develop them as assistant leaders. We're planning to hopefully do that towards the end of December, beginning of January. Bea being in isolation for the new weeks has kind of stepped up our timeline, and we'll be asking them to lead next week. So you can pray for that as we adjust and go forward. And that's kind of been the theme of the year for all of us, hasn't it? Thanks a lot. Thanks for your encouragement. Thanks for your prayers. I know this is long. Sorry about that, but I wanted to give you that update. Thanks.